Do you guys think it was a problem of scale, or was it just struggling to implement it into the missions?
I think that they were making two different PvE games or two games at once, and they couldn't justify having the resources or dev team to build two games at once off of one team.
I think that they needed to expand even further, and they'd already expanded a ton in the last like year or so. They probably just literally couldn't. They just don't have the manpower for it. Which, you know,
yeah, but that makes no sense. They're not a small indie company.
Yeah, bingo. That's what I was gonna say. Is I felt like a lot of times in the article they reference like how in Overwatch 1, like, oh, you'd only have 3, you know, events a year, but it's like, yeah, that doesn't really work anymore today. And like, if your game is doing well and you want to make more content for it, because like now they're incentivized to make more content for it, right? Like before, you only had that one-time purchase of like the $40 copy, and then all the updates were free. Now there's a reason to actually make more content, make more updates, because they'll make more money off of it. At that point, like, why not expand and make it bigger, and, you know, get to the point where maybe either content's going out faster, or they could not really leave the PvP behind, but while also continuing to work on PvE.
How I kind of looked at Overwatch 2 was when they first started working on it and they released it now. I thought they were just going to keep a small team on in the background and then work on it, and then have that release when it was ready, which might be multiple years from now. That's what my hope was for it. And then they just do the live service PvP game in the meantime until that stuff was all ready.
That's what I thought too. And if it was like, it seemed like they were saying that like they didn't have enough people for PvP on the live service without pulling away from PvE. So it would sound like they just need more manpower at that point.
Yeah, but it's probably too risky to dump that many resources into a franchise that's already been in development, kind of development hell for like 2.5 years. So they probably couldn't justify it to big corporate.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I mean, you got to think about it too. Like, how are they going to monetize the PvE, right? Like, are you going to stick it in like a premium battle pass? Like, are you going to sell it as its own separate edition? They probably already spent so much money on it. They probably said, hey, like, our PvP is probably farming money on, you know, skins and events. Why don't we just keep doing more of those instead of sinking another 3 years and just realizing like your sunk cost is too much and then just kind of abandoning it and moving on. But like, at the end of the day though, it just comes back to, you know, they probably realize with free to play and the money it makes, it's just way better investment. But that still sucks though, because like, that's not what we were promised. That's not what the game was supposed to be. That's like, there's no reason to have a 2 in front of Overwatch anymore.
Yeah, there was an answer they posted in the article about why they still keep the 2, and it's basically, I agree with you, but they talked about how it's like, well, it's still a new direction for the game because we restarted content for the game and all this other stuff. But yeah, I agree with you.
I hate that answer so much.
I don't like it either.
The Donkey Overwatch 1.2 video is gonna go hard.
Oh no, I didn't think about the donkey video. Oh no, dude.
Well, yeah, because like when Overwatch 2 came out, that was the silver lining for everyone. Was like, oh well, this isn't the real Overwatch 2. The real Overwatch 2 is the PvE. You gotta wait for that.
Yep. And then just that. Now we just get that in a seasonal format, where we play some missions and then get a score and log off, I guess.
I was a firm believer in the one big release, but I have to believe that they would not have done this unless they thought the alternative was worse.
Oh yeah, I mean the worst case scenario. I think the worst case scenario is that they commit to the big PvE stuff, and then they could never actually do it right, or it's just bad, and so it just comes out it's just god awful because they had to split one team onto 2 giant games basically. I do think that they make this decision based off risk though. Like, to increase the manpower of a team like that and just like increase so many people would be, I don't know. It would take a lot of money, but it still feels stupid to me that they should just be able to do it. Like they should be able to have 2 teams work on 2 different sides of a game and roll with it. I feel like it should be possible.
I just don't think they have enough people.
Basically, they have to double the entire team right now.